The Complete Guide to Fasting by Jason Fung, MD, with Jimmy Moore. Picture this: a 27-year-old man in Scotland, tipping the scales at a staggering 456 pounds. His doctors are worried sick, knowing his future is shadowed by heart disease, diabetes, and a life that could end far too soon. So they propose something that sounds absolutely crazy. The treatment? Stop eating. Completely. But here's where it gets wild. He doesn't stop for just a day, or even a week. Under careful medical supervision, he keeps going, consuming only water, tea, coffee, and a daily multivitamin. Days turn into weeks, weeks stretch into months, and incredibly he continues for 382 consecutive days. More than a year without food. When he finally breaks his fast with a simple boiled egg and buttered bread, he's lost a mind-blowing 276 pounds. He now weighs a healthy 180 pounds. But here's the kicker. Throughout that entire year, he felt fantastic. And years later, the weight stayed off. This isn't some urban legend. It's a documented medical case that completely shatters everything we think we know about food, hunger, and health. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us to eat 3 square meals plus snacks, never skip breakfast, or your metabolism will crash. Miss a meal and your muscles will waste away while hunger consumes you. Yet despite following this advice religiously, we're facing unprecedented epidemics of obesity and type 2 diabetes. Something's not adding up. The advice we've trusted for decades is clearly failing us. This is exactly the puzzle that haunted Dr. Jason Fung, a kidney specialist in Canada. Day after day, he watched the devastating effects of type 2 diabetes destroy his patients' lives. He followed all the standard protocols, prescribed all the right medications, but a nagging feeling wouldn't leave him alone. The treatments he was giving were actually making his patients worse. So he embarked on a quest, diving deep into medical history, ancient healing traditions, and the fundamental biology of the human body. What he discovered was an ancient practice hiding in plain sight, something that costs absolutely nothing and requires only willpower. By the end of our journey today, you'll understand this secret. You'll discover why conventional diet advice seems almost designed to fail, and how the simple act of not eating, what we call fasting, can become one of the most powerful tools for transforming your health. This isn't just about dropping pounds. It's about rediscovering a natural rhythm that our bodies have thrived on for thousands of years. Our story begins in an unexpected place, a kidney clinic. Dr. Jason Fung specializes in treating kidney disease, and he kept seeing the same heartbreaking pattern repeat itself. Type 2 diabetes was destroying his patients' kidneys, and nearly all his diabetic patients were also battling obesity. Medical school taught him that type 2 diabetes was a one-way street. You get diagnosed, and it progressively gets worse. Period. The standard playbook? Prescribe medications to lower blood sugar, and eventually add insulin injections. But Dr. Fung noticed something deeply troubling. Insulin is a hormone that signals your body to store fat. When he prescribed insulin to his patients, their blood sugar numbers looked better on paper. But they gained weight. And as the pounds piled on, their diabetes worsened, requiring even more insulin. He was trapped in a vicious cycle, essentially trying to put out a fire with gasoline. This paradox sent him searching for the real culprit. He asked a deceptively simple question: what actually causes weight gain? For 50 years, we've been given the same answer: calories. The equation seems foolproof. Calories in versus calories out. Eat more than you burn, and you gain weight. Want to lose weight? Just eat less and move more. Sounds logical, right? But when Dr. Fung examined the actual evidence, he found something shocking. This advice has been an absolute disaster. He points to massive studies like the Women's Health Initiative, which followed nearly 50,000 women for years. The group that slashed their fat intake, cut calories, and exercised more, they barely lost any more weight than the group that changed nothing. He looked at contestants from The Biggest Loser, who took eat less, move more to the extreme and lost dramatic amounts of weight on camera. But what happened after the show ended? Almost every single one gained it all back. Why? Because their metabolisms had plummeted. Their bodies were fighting them every step of the way. The calories in, calories out model was fundamentally broken. It was missing the most crucial piece of the puzzle. And that piece, Dr. Fung realized, was hormones. Obesity isn't a simple math problem of calories. It's a hormonal imbalance. And the star player in this drama is insulin. Here's where everything clicks into place. Dr. Fung uses a brilliant analogy that changes how you think about your body forever. He calls it the two-compartment model. Imagine the energy from your food being stored in two places. First, there's your refrigerator. Second, there's your basement freezer. The refrigerator represents your glycogen stores, mainly in your liver. It's for quick, short-term energy. Super easy to access, but it has limited space. Once it's full, that's it. The basement freezer is your body fat. It's for long-term storage. A bit harder to get to. You've got to trek down to the basement. But here's the thing. It has virtually unlimited capacity. When you eat, your body uses what it needs immediately and stores the rest. First, it tops off the refrigerator. Once that's packed, everything extra heads down to the basement freezer. Now here's the critical part. Your body will always raid the refrigerator before even thinking about heading to the basement. As long as there's stuff in the fridge, the freezer door stays locked tight. And what controls that lock? The hormone insulin. When you eat, especially carbs and protein, your insulin levels spike. High insulin sends a clear message. Store energy. Food's coming in. When insulin is elevated, it essentially padlocks the freezer door. It actively blocks your body from burning fat, insisting you burn the incoming sugar instead. This is where our modern eating patterns become catastrophic. We wake up and eat breakfast. Insulin spikes. Mid-morning snack. Insulin spikes. Lunch. Insulin spikes. Afternoon snack. Insulin spikes. Dinner. Insulin spikes. Late-night munchies. Insulin spikes again. Our insulin levels are perpetually elevated. The freezer door is permanently locked. We never give our body a chance to burn stored fat. We're constantly cramming more food into an already full refrigerator, so everything extra just gets shoved into the freezer, which keeps expanding. This is why simply eating less fails spectacularly if you're eating constantly. Cut your calories all you want, but if you're still grazing on 6 small meals a day, your insulin stays elevated. Your body can't touch its fat reserves. So what happens? Your body panics, thinking it's starving. It does the only thing it can. It slams on the metabolic brakes. You become cold, exhausted, and ravenously hungry. Your body is desperately trying to conserve energy because the freezer stays locked. This revelation led Dr. Fung to a conclusion that's both revolutionary and ancient. If chronically high insulin is the problem, what's the most direct way to lower it? Simple. Don't eat. Fast. The word fasting conjures images of suffering and starvation. But Dr. Fung draws a crucial distinction. Starvation is involuntary. You have no food and no idea when you'll eat again. Fasting is voluntary and controlled. Food is available. You simply choose not to eat it for a specific period. This element of choice changes everything. This isn't some trendy new diet hack. It's one of humanity's oldest healing traditions. The ancient Greeks, including Hippocrates himself, the father of medicine, prescribed it. Benjamin Franklin wisely said, "The best of all medicines is resting and fasting." It's woven into virtually every major religion: Ramadan in Islam, Yom Kippur in Judaism, Lent in Christianity. For millennia, our ancestors didn't have 24/7 access to food. Their lives naturally alternated between feast and famine. Our bodies aren't just designed to handle periods without food. They're actually designed to thrive during them. But modern society has conditioned us to fear missing even a single meal. Dr. Fung dedicates a huge chunk of the book to demolishing these myths, one by one. The biggest myth? Starvation mode. We're terrified that skipping a meal will crash our metabolism. But the science shows exactly the opposite. Studies on short-term fasting, even up to 4 days, reveal that metabolism doesn't slow down. It actually revs up. Why? Your body releases hormones like adrenaline. Think about it evolutionarily. If you were a hunter-gatherer who hadn't eaten in a day, would it make sense for your body to shut down and make you sluggish? Of course not. You'd need energy and sharp focus to hunt for food. Fasting doesn't power you down, it powers you up. The second myth is that fasting devours your muscle. People panic at this idea. But it's biologically absurd. Why would your body carefully store energy as fat, only to burn vital muscle tissue the moment you stop eating? That would be like stockpiling firewood all summer, then burning your furniture the first cold night. Your body is way smarter. During a fast, your body releases a surge of growth hormone, which actively protects muscle mass. Your body burns through stored sugar first, then switches to burning fat. It only touches muscle during true starvation, which doesn't happen until body fat drops below 4%, a level most people will never remotely approach. But what about the biggest fear of all? Hunger. That crushing, unbearable hunger that we imagine will destroy us if we dare skip lunch. This is where Jimmy Moore, the book's co-author, brings the human element to Dr. Fung's science. Jimmy is a best-selling author and health podcaster who provides the real-world, lived experience. And he was the ultimate skeptic. He once weighed over 400 pounds. He loved food. The idea of voluntarily not eating seemed ridiculous. His first attempt at intermittent fasting was a complete train wreck. He describes it as ugh, and more ugh, massive headaches, lightheadedness, total misery. But later he realized he'd done everything wrong. He was still drinking diet sodas, which triggered cravings. He wasn't getting enough salt, causing fatigue. And most importantly, his mindset was all wrong. He was terrified of hunger itself. Years later, he tried again, but smarter this time. He'd also switched to a low-carb, high-fat, ketogenic way of eating. And this, he discovered, was a complete game-changer. When your body is already burning fat for fuel, a state called ketosis, fasting becomes almost effortless. It feels natural. One day, his wife asked when he'd last eaten, and he realized it had been 28 hours. He'd simply forgotten to eat. The obsessive food thoughts had vanished. This experience revealed the true nature of hunger. What we think of as hunger is often just conditioning. It's Pavlov's dogs. We get hungry at noon because we've trained ourselves to expect food at noon. We get hungry at the movies because we've always paired movies with popcorn. It's habit, a mental signal, not genuine physical need. The book reveals that real hunger isn't a monster that grows until it devours you. It comes in waves. Jimmy learned this during extended fasts, including one lasting nearly 18 days. The first couple of days can be tough. But then, something remarkable happens. The hunger fades. It simply disappears. He felt euphoric, clear-headed, and energized. Why? The hunger hormone, ghrelin, actually peaks on day 2 and then steadily drops. Your body has flipped the switch. It's no longer screaming for external food because it's happily burning stored fat. The freezer door has finally opened. So how do you actually do this? The book lays out a beautiful, flexible framework. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. The goal is finding what fits your life. Dr. Fung breaks it down into different fasting protocols. There are shorter, intermittent fasts. The most popular is 16 to 8. Fast for 16 hours. Eat within an 8-hour window each day. For most people, this is as simple as skipping breakfast, having your first meal at noon, and finishing by 8 p.m. You're sleeping through half the fast anyway. It's incredibly simple and sustainable. Then there are 24-hour fasts, which you might do 2 or 3 times weekly. Sounds intimidating, but it's really just eating dinner one night, then not eating again until dinner the next night. You're still eating every single day. For people with more serious conditions like type 2 diabetes, Dr. Fung often recommends longer fasts, 36 hours, or even multiple days. These are more powerful because they give insulin levels extended time to drop, which is essential for breaking severe insulin resistance. The book overflows with practical tips for success. Drink plenty of water. Stay busy to distract yourself. Use coffee or tea, natural appetite suppressants. But one of the most important recommendations is drinking homemade bone broth. It's very low in calories, but packed with salt and minerals. This prevents the headaches and dizziness that sometimes occur, which are usually just signs of dehydration and mineral depletion, not actual hunger. The book also emphasizes a crucial point. When you break your fast, don't binge. Just eat a normal, healthy meal. Fasting is about restoring balance. Life's natural rhythm is feast and fast. We've become a society that only feasts. By reintroducing fasting, you're not depriving yourself. You're giving yourself permission to truly enjoy feasts, holidays, birthdays, celebrations, without guilt, because you know how to balance them. Perhaps the most profound benefits extend far beyond weight loss or even reversing diabetes. Dr. Fung explains a fascinating process that occurs during fasting called autophagy, which literally means self-eating. Think of it as your body's spring cleaning. When your body isn't busy digesting food, it has time for deep maintenance. It hunts down old, damaged, junky cells and cellular parts, misfolded proteins, worn-out mitochondria, and breaks them down for recycling. It's a deep, purifying cleanse at the cellular level. This process is a powerful anti-aging mechanism. By clearing out cellular junk, it makes room for renewal. While autophagy is cleaning house, your body is also releasing that surge of growth hormone, which helps build new, healthy cells. You're literally renovating your body from the inside out. Scientists are now studying autophagy for its potential to prevent neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, which are linked to the accumulation of damaged proteins in the brain. Fasting gives your brain a chance to take out the trash. So you see, this ancient practice isn't about starvation at all. It's about renewal. It's about accessing a deep, primal healing mechanism that's been part of our biology since the beginning. It's a simple, powerful, and completely free tool that puts control of your health back where it belongs, in your hands. As we step back and absorb the ideas in the Complete Guide to Fasting, what strikes me most isn't just the science, but the profound perspective shift it offers. For decades, we've been at war with our bodies. We've been told they're weak, undisciplined, and prone to failure. We've learned to obsessively count calories, fight every craving, and view food as an enemy requiring constant management. Dr. Fung and Jimmy Moore offer us a radically different path. They invite us to work with our bodies, not against them. They remind us that our bodies possess ancient wisdom, a built-in healing system we've simply forgotten how to activate. The book's most powerful lesson is that the solution to many modern diseases isn't adding something new, a new drug, supplement, or superfood, but removing something. Creating space, giving our bodies the time and quiet they need to do what they already know how to do, heal themselves. This isn't about deprivation. It's about balance. Life's natural rhythm has always included both feast and fast. We celebrate with feasts. We gather around food, but we've forgotten the other half of the equation. Our modern world has created perpetual feast mode, and our health is collapsing under the weight of this relentless abundance. Fasting is simply the act of restoring that ancient, essential balance. So how can you start applying this wisdom in your own life? The beauty lies in its simplicity. First, just notice when you eat. You don't need to jump into a 7-day fast. Try this tomorrow. Instead of eating breakfast the moment you wake up, just have water or black coffee. Push your first meal back to noon. If you finished dinner at 8 p.m. the night before, congratulations. You've just completed a 16-hour fast. Pay attention to how you feel. You might be pleasantly surprised to discover you have more energy and clarity, not less. Second, create a clear eating window and fasting window in your day. This simple act of establishing a daily 12 or 14-hour fast, where you only consume water, can begin lowering your insulin levels and giving your body a much-needed digestive break. And third, when you are eating, focus on real food. Fasting isn't a free pass to eat junk. Fill your plate with whole, unprocessed foods, healthy fats, quality proteins, and fiber-rich vegetables. This book is more than just a fasting manual. It's a manifesto for rethinking health entirely. It's a call to trust the innate intelligence of our bodies and reclaim a power that's been inside us all along. It teaches us that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do for our health is nothing at all. That was our journey through the core ideas of The Complete Guide to Fasting by Dr. Jason Fung and Jimmy Moore. We've touched on the most important concepts today, but I'll be honest with you. A summary like this is like looking at a travel brochure for the Grand Canyon. You can see pictures and read descriptions, but nothing compares to standing on the edge and experiencing it yourself. The real magic happens when you engage with the book directly, when a particular story or simple phrase connects with your own experience in an unexpected way. This summary is designed to help you decide if this book deserves your time and attention. If anything we've discussed today sparked your curiosity or resonated with a struggle you've faced, I encourage you to grab a copy. Reading it isn't just about learning facts. It's an experience that can genuinely transform how you see food, your body, and your potential for healing. You'll find a link to the book in the description below. Also, if you found this summary valuable and it gave you a fresh perspective, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It lets me know this work is helpful and ensures you won't miss our next journey into another life-changing book. Let's keep learning and growing together.